the next question is, what is a judgment non-obstant verdicto? When is it appropriate to issue such a verdict?
I think we're all looking at each other, maybe going, is it a...
This is a question from the audience. So
Yeah, I don't know. Are you saying it's
Here,
judgment notwithstanding?
I'll put myself out there.
Okay.
What is this is, I don't mind being on the spot, so I get to question the judges. Okay, this is like one of those rare times. What is
This is actually supposed to be submitted, and then
Okay.
by our agreement is
Okay.
that they've all signed. So.
Okay, is this gonna be a problem then, or what? Because I'm trying to clarify,
So do you want to direct to me what the
Okay,
question is?
so here it is. It's, what is a judgment non obstante verdicto? And generally speaking, when is it appropriate for a judge to issue that verdict?
Okay, so the question came in from the audience. So do you care to answer that question? You have 90 seconds.
So is that a judgment notwithstanding the verdict? So a jury has come back guilty, and I'm just trying to get clarification, if that's
where I'm going with, yeah.
judgment notwithstanding the verdict.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there are occasions, and in any trial it could happen, although it's not very frequent, where the jury comes back with a verdict, and the judge sits in essence as a 13th juror. And if they sit in essence as a 13th juror and their decision is not guilty, then what that does is cause a hung jury, if I'm understanding what your question is.
Like judgment notwithstanding the verdict is like, yeah, so they say guilty, but then the judge says, no, we're setting this aside. But that's what I'm trying to see, what you know and how you would respond. That's what I'm trying to tease out.
I think the mechanism that the judge is able to set that aside is to sit as what is called a 13th juror.
Okay.
And then the judge inputs a verdict of not guilty, which in essence causes a hung jury. And then the process starts all over again. So that is an option that a judge has on any trial to make that decision. And that is a request oftentimes that a defense attorney might ask for a judge to make that decision. So I'm not sure if your question is, would I be willing to do that type of a judgment notwithstanding a verdict if I felt it appropriate to do so? If I felt it appropriate to do so, as a judge, I would say, think about that. I think,
Time.
oh, I don't even get to answer that question, so I'm gonna give it to Sharon.
We've examined it.
I
Okay.
did.
I will go ahead and ask the question to you, Sharon. Sharon Ransom. So, what is judgment? What is a judgment non-obstante verdicto? When is it appropriate to issue such a verdict?
So as judges are control the courtroom and the flow of a trial and what is allowed and not allowed in the trial. And when juries are selected, the judge oversees that process as well. So as long as the judge is doing the right job and ruling over that jury selection process and seeing that the trial is committed in a fair manner, I don't think that becomes an issue, because we have to put our trust in the jurors that are selected to hear these cases and try these cases. Unless there's something so egregious, like that Renee says there needs to be a hung jury or a mistrial, I think that it's in the purview of the jury, or if it's a court trial, for the judge to make the decision. But aside from something being egregious and unwarranted, I think that judges have the ability to, but if everything's run fairly in the court and the judge is doing their job, I don't think there needs to be a judgment notwithstanding the verdict. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon Ransom. Okay, so we'll go ahead and switch on the question.
Switch.
Okay, so Erica.